All right, listen up. If you're here, it means you're ready to take control of your nutrition. Not guess, not kind of track, but actually know what you're doing. And I promise you, once this clicks, everything changes. Whether your goal is fat loss, muscle gain, or just finally having clarity, this is the foundation. Now, I know some of you just want to track in apps like MyFitnessPal, and that's completely fine. That works too. If you decide that's the course of action you'd like to take, I'll even do the calculations for you if needed. But here's the deal. If you don't understand why these numbers matter, you always feel lost. So stay with me because by the end of this, you know exactly how to eat to get the results you want. The first thing to consider is your energy requirements. Step one, how much energy does your body actually need? Think of it like a bank account. You can't spend what you don't have, and you can't expect results if you don't know the numbers. The first thing to consider with energy requirements is your resting metabolic rate, or RMR. This is the calories your body burns just to stay alive. So if you laid in bed all day, this is what you'd burn. Then there's DAB, or daily activity burn. These are the calories burned from movements such as walking, standing, and even fidgeting. And then the final one, which is crucial because I believe that movement is king, is exercise calories. So the energy burned from workouts. Just a heads up, most people overestimate this number. Now, if you add all of these together, you get what we call your TDEE, your Total Daily Energy Expenditure. This is how many calories you need to maintain your current weight. Now, let's look at this screen here and work out how much calories you need to maintain your current weight. And the way we do that is shown here. So we've got an example of an 80 kg man and 60 kg female. So what you do here is you do 80 kg times 22 in order to get your resting metabolic rate. So times 22 equals 1760. Of course, we've got the female example as well, times 22, 1320. And then from there, you do your daily activity burn, so 1760. Find 20% of it. So in this case, it's 352, and for the female is 264. You then go ahead, add them together, 1760, 352, add 600, and the 600 is standing for exercise calories. So it's the same for both female and male. And your figure that you get at the end will determine your current level. So for the male is 2712, which means he's at level 2. Obviously, I've said that on here as well, but he's level 2 because he falls between 2,400 and let's say 3,000 calories. And for the female, in this case, she's level 1 because her figure was 2184, and level 1 is 1,800 to let's say 2,400. So that's a very important number for you to figure out. And as you lose weight or gain weight, this number may change. You may have to recalculate depending on the results. Now, let's work with the level 2 male. Assuming that he wanted to lose fat, my suggestion in this case and many other health professionals would be for him to drop into level 1. And the reason for that is because we want him to get into a slight calorie deficit, and also at the same time, as part of his nutrition, he would also be prioritizing protein by quite a bit, and also making sure to do some strength training as well, resistance training. Now, if you wanted to maintain, but just have a bit more of a body composition change, then I would just recommend that he tries to stick around about the same level so that so all he would have to do is refine his portion sizes and lock in terms of being consistent. And of course, if you wanted to gain a lot of muscle, my recommendation in this case would be to bump up the calories a little bit more. So it would actually be going up to level 3. Well, either maintaining or going up to level 3. The only danger with going up a level, if you go up a little bit too much, and this is why we normally recommend sticking within like a 3 to 500 calorie range, is so that you can actually watch your progress slowly instead of going up too far and then gaining a little bit too much, let's say fat in this situation. Or if you were dropping and you dropped a little bit too quickly, you'd also be losing muscle as well at the same time. So stick to your level, stay consistent, and the results will come. You just have to be, well, consistent. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about execution. So you've got your numbers. How do we use these numbers? Okay, so we've got your portion approach here. Now you do have access to all of these resources, and from what you can see, so we've got your macronutrients, fats, proteins, carbs, and under each one of these things, you've got serving as well. So carb, each serving is around 200 calories. Protein, each serving 100 calories. Fats, 120, and so on. And then depending on your level, you can see how much of each you should be having. So for example, protein is 4. So all you'll be doing here is 4 servings. This is a serving, 1 serving is 1 serving. So a serving, so 4 servings times 100. So which in this case is nice and easy. That'd be 400. And then for the dairy, so you've got dairy, 2 servings for this one. Each serving is 120 calories. So in this case, it's 240. And again, just showing you guys the daily serving chart. So you've got level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 3 was 3,000 plus, and so on. It's all there for you to access so you can work out what you need to have. Okay. So with these levels as well, I've also included some samples so you can see examples of what you might be able to have as well for the different meals. So let's assume that we're sticking with our level 2 person who was 2712 in terms of the amount of calories. So all you'd have to do is 6 times 100, so 600 dairy, 120 times 2, 240, and so on, and then work out the total, which in this case was 1810. Now, it says here 2,400 calories per day. So your figure would be 2712 per day. Now, all you'd have to do from here is you go 2712 minus the figure for the protein, or I should say the meal plan level, minus 1810. And you have left 902. And the 902, so up to 1,000 calories, is what you can have in condiments and snacks. So, if you're adding any sauces or anything like that, salt, pepper, you name it, you can have up to this. Obviously, I'm not encouraging you in any way to increase this as much as you can. And I'd still suggest you stick with a healthier snack like low-fat cheese or crackers, hummus with carrots and so on, so that you can stay on track. But you'd have 902 calories worth in terms of for you to be able to stick within that range. And again, just showing you some of the other resources you have at hand. This is the macronutrient list you have at hand as well. And what I've done for you is put the foods, the quantity, and then highlighted which macronutrient is most prominent within the food. So for example, let's find something with protein because it's 6 times 100. So we come down. The first one that I see is Greek yogurt. So in this case, 1 cup is 130 calories. Now, if we've got 600 calories worth of energy per day and we divide that by 3, then that's 200 for every single meal. You could technically bump this up a little bit to 2 cups, but that would be 260. So you'd be going over a little bit for that one meal, and you'd have to cut back a little bit maybe for another meal later on. But this is how you would use it. Let's just use another example. So let's go for a fruit, and let's see. So strawberries. Calories is 46, and yeah, and it's mainly, or I should say, it's higher in carbs. So for this one, you're counting the calories. So calories 46 for 1 cup, and you can have 100 calories per day. So in this situation, you could have 2 cups if you wanted, but that would be all your fruits finished for the day. So it might be a good idea for you just to have 1 cup of strawberries for the one meal, and then save the rest of the strawberries for another meal. Or perhaps you decided to have Greek yogurt in the morning instead, so you have some Greek yogurt, calories 130, and then you mix that with a couple of strawberries, which is 46, and then that way you've got more strawberries for later on as well. Okay, I hope that you found that useful. You now have the blueprint. Hopefully, you know your numbers, you know your portions, and I've given you a bit of a pathway in terms of how to execute as well. Now, the next section that I'll be talking about is understanding your body fat and behaviors. So, this was the nutrition section. The next part is just getting you to understand that if you want to be a certain body fat, you must display certain behaviors. So, if you want to be 10% body fat, for example, you're going to need to move a certain amount. If someone is 30% body fat, they're going to be moving a lot less than the person who's 10%, and so on. So that's what we'll be talking about next time. And I'll also be explaining to you a little bit more about the hand portion method as well, which is great because it's something that is portable, it's using your own hand, and it's a little bit similar to this. But in case you know this is too much for you in any way, the hand guide method is great. It works, as I said, because it's simple. So no weighing food, no need for apps. You know, it's personalized. Hand, you should say the size of your hand matches your body size, and it's also very portable as well. So if you wanted something with less calculations, you can also use the hand portion guide. But as I've said, I mean, both of them have worked for my clients. But you can let me know what your current level is at the moment, or we'll work out together. And then from here, we'll match depending whether you want to use the hand portion guide or you want to use the calculations with the method that I've just shown you. All right, guys, thank you for joining. I'm Gift McLaren. I believe that movement is king, and I'll see you next time.